Happy Summerween, my loves. I have a little stack of books that we're hoping to get through in the next couple of days. This is part one. There will be 3 Summerween videos coming your way, and I am so excited to scare myself with all of these books. So, first things first, Mexican Gothic must be read this week or I'll eat my foot, and nobody wants to see that. Good news, I am already about 60 pages into this. I got a nice little chunk of reading done this morning before I was ready to climb out of bed because yesterday we were on the boat all day and I am crispy. I don't know if you can tell because I put foundation on, but my forehead and my cheeks are giving lobster and they hurt so bad. I think I managed not to burn anywhere else. I've got some pretty sick tan lines going on here, but I think I mostly emerged unscathed, which I am proud of, but really bummed about burning my face because that hurts. Anyways, I started reading this morning while I was letting the aloe vera soak into my skin in bed. I'm on page 66. We have set up the story. So our main character is Noemi, and she has now just gone to visit her cousin, Catalina. So Noemi is kind of like this party girl, socialite, very fashionable, very smart, quick-witted, banterous, flirtatious, doesn't take shit from anybody. Her dad gets a really concerning letter from her cousin who has just married this guy in the countryside. She's saying all sorts of things. She feels very unsafe there. So Noemi's going to go and figure out what's going on there. She shows up at this crumbling, moldy estate. Everything there is super weird. They only speak English there. They basically like imported all of their staff from England. They only eat English food. They don't speak Spanish at all in this estate. They don't really interact with the village that they're next to at all. They had a silver mine, and now we're starting to like uncover some history that there was a lot of people who were sick. We've met her cousin. Her husband says that she has tuberculosis, but she's not like coughing at all, so I feel like that is a lie. And Noemi is trying to figure out what's going on so that she can help her cousin Catalina. I'm really enjoying this. If you've been here a long time, you know this is maybe my 3rd or 4th time attempting to read this book. It's gonna happen this time. I can feel it in my bones. I did not like the audiobook of this. The accents were a bit much for me. Reading it physically with my eyeballs, I'm having a really good time. It feels very gothic. The writing is very rich. I think Silvia Moreno Garcia is really creating an atmosphere here that I'm very much enjoying. I can't wait to see how over the top this is gonna get, if it's gonna stay mostly under the surface and more gothic, or if we're really gonna get crazy and wild. I have theories. I'm excited to see how this is going to go. So, quick TBR, if you missed my July TBR where I chatted about some things, I'd like to pick up Everything the Darkness Eats by Eric LaRocca, and I'd also like to read It Came from the Closet. These are essays about horror movies. So tonight I picked up some swordfish from Trader Joe's. I'm gonna make it. Dan's gonna come over. We're gonna have date night and we're gonna watch a horror movie. So I'd like to read one of these and we'll watch the horror movie that the essay goes to tonight. And then we can give you guys a little review on that too. I thought that might be fun. I also have a couple of audiobooks. I have Horror Movie by Paul Tremblay. I have I Was a Teenage Slasher by Stephen Graham Jones. And I also have Our Hideous Progeny by C.E. McGill. So those are our 3 options. I think I would like to start with Horror Movie by Paul Tremblay. I'm really feeling like I want the cursed film vibe. So I'm gonna put this down for now and we're gonna go on a nice long walk. I'd like to go to the Greenway. If it's not too hot outside already. It has been so hot here recently, but thankfully it's only 85 right now. It's gonna get up to apparently 98 today. So let's go now. I'm anticipating this taking about 2 hours, so it's gonna be a big walk. So we'll get quite a chunk of the way into Horror Movie. Fingers crossed we see some wildlife along the way. We've seen a lot of deer recently, so hopefully we spot some on our walk. Okay, so it turns out it's actually 97 degrees outside, feels like 108, so I went for a half an hour bike ride instead, and now we're gonna eat a fudge popsicle because I am so warm, and I'm so sorry the AC is on and I just can't turn it off. It's already 74 degrees in here and I need all the AC that I can get today. I am on chapter 7 of Horror Movie. I'm really liking it. I'm desperate to see what the physical copy of this book looks like. Because it's Paul Tremblay who wrote the Pallbearers Club, I'm wondering if it's all marked up and like built out like a screenplay, because we are very much getting to see the screenplay of this cursed film. And the audiobook is so well done. Like you can hear the pages turning as they're reading the sides, and you can hear the actors interject. It's very clear when someone's reading the script versus when you're like supposed to be in the scene itself. I just think this is a really, really well produced audiobook, and I'm desperate to see what the physical book looks like as well. So the situation has been introduced. Our main character is the thin kid in the movie. He's supposed to be the only surviving cast member. This film, I think only 3 scenes were ever released on YouTube, but now Hollywood wants to do a big budget reboot. Our main character is kind of like going back and telling the story of this and talking about people who are approaching him to try to make a reboot, and also telling the story of what originally happened way back when. So I'm having a really good time with it. I am so warm. I'm going to finish eating this while I lay in front of my fan, and then I'm gonna go take a cold shower, and then we will return to reading. I feel like I need to change the scenery. So we are at one of my favorite coffee shops in Charlotte. It's called Sumac, and we are gonna bring Mexican Gothic in. I'm like a little bit under 100 pages into this. Still really good. We've started to get some creepy, scary dreams, and I love a creepy, scary dream. So I'm really excited about the direction that this is going in. Also brought my brand new laptop so we can start editing this video. I'm very excited. This is gonna be my main rig for when we move to Costa Rica. So we'll be testing it out with this video. So if you notice any quality differences, my wrap up and my TBR were also done on this laptop. This is my first vlog that I'm doing on here, and those tend to be more editing heavy. So let me know if anything quality-wise has decreased, because I want to use these last couple months as a way to troubleshoot everything and make sure that everything is good to go for when we move to Costa Rica. Okay, it's reading 100 degrees in my car, so let's go inside. And welcome to day 2 of Summerween. We had a very productive day 1. Dan and I watched Godzilla last night, so I read the accompanying essay for Godzilla. It was really, really well done. It is by Ryan Dzelskolns, and I really apologize if I have butchered that last name. It was a really interesting essay. The author is equating Godzilla to being gay and feeling like being gay makes you a monster and having this like monstrous desire, and also talking about having that monstrous desire not just about sex but also about marriage and family. And I'll leave you with this quote. "What does it mean to be a monster? To fail in the predictable ways? It is a queer light that comes from the burning city underwriting Godzilla's power. His capacity for destruction lies just as ably within as without." Really interesting exploration in there as well of the connection between Godzilla and the atomic bomb and the H-bomb. I had never watched the original 1954 Godzilla, and I really very much enjoyed it. I feel like it's not often where I sit down and watch a movie that is black and white and all in Japanese from the 50s, so I had a really good time with it. Dan also enjoyed it, and we got to see the original Godzilla, which was fantastic. That was our first horror movie and essay. I'm trying to convince my friend to come over and watch Jennifer's Body with me tonight, so we'll see if she is available. But in the meantime, we need to finish Mexican Gothic. I am like 50 pages from the end, and it has gotten disgusting. I was sitting here reading this on the couch with Dan. I wish that I had had the camera on because the look on my face was pure disgust. At this point, everything has pretty much been explained to us, so we know what the horror is, why the horror is there, and we are now just trying to escape from it. There are a lot of really interesting class conversations in here, eugenics conversations in here, a lot of mold, a lot of fungus, a little bit of cannibalism. We're getting into it. I'm gonna set you up somewhere so you can watch me read these last 50 pages because I'm sure my facial expressions will be entertaining. I have finished Mexican Gothic. This was so good. I think I'm gonna give it 4.5 stars. I am so happy that I finally finished reading this. This took me so long to get to. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was spooky scary. I was super interested in the plot. I was super connected to all of our characters that we should be connected to. I really liked the backstory behind this. It did get super gross and super uncomfy for a little bit there, which is, I guess, what you want out of a horror book. I had a great time. If you're like me and you're late to the game on this one, this is your sign that it is time to finally pick up Mexican Gothic because it is so good. This is definitely my favorite book by this author. I read Silver Nitrate by Silvia Moreno Garcia and it was fine. I didn't love it, but this is definitely better than that one. So really happy with this. Would read more from this author in the future. My mission now is to get as much of this video edited as I can because it needs to go up tomorrow morning. I'm gonna go do that for a couple hours and I will see you all when I'm done and we'll make a game plan for the rest of the day depending on how much day we have left. Editing is going mostly okay. It's 5:30. My reward for sitting here and editing for a few hours is a hot honey chicken sandwich. And we also have cheese curds. Let's eat one together. I'm just a little Midwestern girl. I just want cheese curds. That's all I really want in life. It just doesn't get better than that. You can't convince me that anything's better than a cheese curd. So good. Okay, here's what I want from you guys. I want you to tell me which of these movies I should watch this week because we won't be able to get through all of them. And I'm not gonna read all of these essays, but I would like to read most of the essays for the movies that I have seen. Let me know in the comments which of these you want me to watch in the next 2 Summerween vlogs. So we have The Exorcist, Jennifer's Body, I think we're gonna watch tonight, Hereditary I've already seen, The Ring, Pet Cemetery, Grace, The Blob, Society, Godzilla we watched yesterday, Good Manners, Jaws I have already seen, one of my favorite movies of all time, The Wolf Man, Dead Ringers, The Birds, The Leech Woman, Candyman, Friday the 13th Part 2, A Nightmare on Elm Street, Us, The Blair Witch Project, Is That You, Get Out I also haven't seen all of, Halloween, Eyes Without a Face, Child's Play, In My Sleep, and Sleepaway Camp. So I've really only seen a couple of these, so let me know which ones I should watch in the comments. I'm gonna finish up eating my dinner and then it will be movie time. I have updates. Movie night with my friend has been rescheduled to tomorrow, so I decided to hold off on watching the movie. So instead, I've been going through a bunch of just junk that I accumulated as a kid, and I've been going through it and separating the trash from the treasure, and I found some fun things that I'm gonna show you. So this is my little bike plate, nameplate. I have some old Polaroids from when I did some modeling. Just silly little high school memories. What else can I show you? Oh, I have a cool little pot from Chisera, which is the island that my mom grew up on. And I found this little photo of me as a baby. Oh, one more thing. Some art that I made as a child. That's a dog, if you couldn't tell. I've been having a very fun time walking down memory lane. I've also been listening to the audiobook of Horror Movie, and it's so good. I think if you're a fan of House of Leaves and you've been looking for that pretentious fake film blurring the lines of reality situation, this is gonna scratch that itch for you. Everyone except for this one guy is gone now. He's the only surviving cast member. It's garnered this like cult-like following. Everyone is doing everything that they can to find any scrap of information on this. And there's only 3 scenes that were ever released, and just like finding out what happened in those scenes, like you can kind of imagine this happening, like that scene being released and all the lore behind it, all the accidents that happened on set and all the things that have gone down. The weird mask that they used, and this guy who's our narrator is seeming more and more unreliable, and there's some supernatural possibly things going on, but it could also just be like the trauma of it all. It's so good. I'm loving it so much, and I am just so immersed in it. I think I'm gonna finish Horror Movie. I don't think I have more than an hour of the audiobook left to read. Yeah, I've got 50 minutes left. So let's go on a nice long walk. We'll finish this, and then I'll see you guys to wrap up the first 2 days of Summerween. Just kidding, my friend is coming over tonight for a movie, so cue Jennifer's Body. did it. We watched Jennifer's Body. Neither of us had ever seen it, and I'm surprised that we made it to 25 without watching that movie because I feel like it's just so quotable and so iconic. I also read Carmen Maria Machado's essay. I've read two things from Carmen Maria Machado before. I read her short story collection, Her Body and Other Parties. The Husband Stitch, which is in that collection, is one of my favorite short stories of all time. And I lied to you. That's the only thing I've read by Carmen Maria Machado. The other thing that I know of by her is not something that I have read. It's something that's on my TBR and it's in the dream house and I desperately want to read it, but I haven't had a chance to pick it up yet. But the essay in here about Jennifer's Body was so good. It's all about bisexuality and how Jennifer's Body is not queer baiting and it is in fact a really accurate representation of what it is to be bisexual, and how because our society is so heteronormative, regardless of your actual identity, bisexuality is a path that you have to cross into. I'm just gonna read you this little paragraph here. It's a footnote in here. It says, "It is understandably considered gauche to describe bisexuality as transitory, almost as gauche as the word bisexual itself. Perhaps it would be better to think of bisexuality as queerly universal, stem cells potent with potential. As long as compulsive heteronormativity exists, queer people will pass through bisexuality at some point, however briefly. Some tear through it on a speedboat heading for a more monosexual harbor, others circle content, drinking aperitifs in the sun." I just thought that was a really poignant quote about that. I really, really loved this essay. It's so well done. It talks about so many different things. Another quote for you: "There are many themes moving through Jennifer's Body: the precarious insecurity of girlhood, the violence of male entitlement, the extreme badass of mid-aughts rock, but it's impossible to miss its queerness." I loved every second of that experience. And Carmen Machado also says queer reader a lot, as in like dear reader, which is giving vaguely Bridgerton vibes, so happy about that as well. Here's what I'll say about my Jennifer's Body experience. The one scene that I see quoted everywhere, and it's sampled in this Halsey song called Killing Boys. I love this song, and every time I play this song for people, they're like, oh my gosh, yeah, like the Jennifer's Body thing, like that's so wild that someone sampled that and made a song out of it, where she goes, "You're killing people." She says, "No, I'm killing boys. They're placeholders. They come and they go." It's this whole scene, and it's not in the movie, and I'm confused because we had to look up deleted scenes and look at like 15 minutes of deleted scenes, which by the way should have been kept in the movie because we needed basically all of those except for one, because we were confused at points. We were like, wait, why are we going to the spring dance? Why does she think something's gonna happen at the spring dance? We needed all of those deleted scenes, so you let me know. I'm just confused why that scene is so quoted and it's not even in the movie. Is everyone watching a director's cut? Did I rent the wrong cut of the movie? Let me know in the comments. It is almost midnight. I need to finish editing this and try to go to sleep and not think of scary Megan Fox. Thank you all so much for joining me for the first Summerween. There will be 2 more Summerween vlogs, so if you're not subscribed, I would encourage you to do that so that you don't miss the other 2. Unfortunately, we didn't get to finish Horror Movie. I have about an hour left of the audiobooks. We'll finish that up tomorrow, and that'll be the first thing we cover in Tuesday's video. I think I'm posting the next one on Tuesday. I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye, friends.